Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Y'all, I have a bad case of the 2020 scraps. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are anything like me, you have chipboard scraps galore. Guys, I have bins of chipboard scraps, but I have been crafting with chipboard for a very long time, and you do generate a lot of scraps. And on occasion, I will try to incorporate using those chipboard scraps as much as I can just to try to get rid of some of those chipboard scraps. And on occasion, I'll be honest with you, I have to just take a bin and dump it because I'll just have too many to keep on hand. So that is what I think I'm going to spend the rest of 2020 on. We're going to work on whittling down our scraps, and we won't go through all of the scraps that we have, but we are going to do just a few fun little projects so that we can try to work through this pile. So I had some of my scraps out just to show you guys how my scraps come to be. Sometimes I'll cut something wrong. Sometimes I will cut and have strips left over like this, and I'll have bigger pieces left over. But today we are going to just sift through and use some of these pieces, and I'm actually going to come back to that because we're going to use some of that. But we are going to use 4 pieces of scrap to make today's project. So I have a piece that measures 4 by 6. I have a piece that measures 3.5 by 3.5, and then I have 2 pieces that measure 2 5/8 by 6 3/4. And those are the scrap sizes that we're going to be working with today. And as you guys could see from the pile that I'm bringing out, these really are true scrap pieces. They're leftover, or in this case, where I might have cut wrong, and so I have a score through this piece, but this will become scrap for sure. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to turn these into, because we do want to take our scraps, and if we're going to craft with them, we want to turn them into something that has a purpose. And these most certainly have a purpose for anyone who might be working from home, or who might be a note taker, or need to jot something down. So what I've made is I have used my 4 by 6 piece to make a mini clipboard. I have used the 2 pieces that measure 2 5/8 by 6 3/4 to make this beautiful, beautiful flip top skinny. And I am using my 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece to make this sweet little elevated sticky notepad holder. You can see here that I have got an extra piece on the back so that we can give that a little bit of height. So now that we know how these came to be, let's go ahead and make them. So the first thing that we're going to make is we are going to make the skinny notepad. Now the way that I did mine, I based it off of the size of the skinny notepad that I'm using. These are skinny notepads that I've been using for a while. Some of you have seen them in other videos. They measure 2.5 by 6.5. So I basically just trimmed down some of my scrap pieces to be 6.5 inches long. So what I did, I didn't even worry about the width of this. I just made sure that this was going to fit on top. And if it was going to fit, then I just trimmed it at the bottom. So if you're looking for a way to figure out how to trim your scraps, that's the simple process that I followed. So I am going to bring in this beautiful, beautiful print. This is some Italian wrapping paper. And I am just going to scroll over, and then I'm going to give you guys the SKU in case you want to spend some time looking for this paper. This is the paper that I'm going to use to make all of my scrap projects. So guys, I have already placed tape on both sides of my 2 5/8 by 6 3/4 inch pieces. And when I place them down, I'm going to place them down so that I get a nice wide border all the way around, because we are not going to do a separate liner piece. We're simply going to do a fold over and a wrap around. So let me turn this like this, and when I place this down, I'm placing it down, giving myself about 1/4 inch in spacing. So then I'm going to use my finger blade, and I want to make sure that I'm giving myself a wide border because like I said, when I fold over, this is going to become the inside liner piece. So I am simply going to cut straight down, giving myself a nice little border there, and then I'll give myself a nice little border here at the top. And then we'll save this because we can use it to wrap the bottom piece of the sticky notepad holder. So all I'm going to do is just fold this around on all four sides. And you can use any wrapping paper for this. Christmas wrapping paper, Dollar Tree wrapping paper, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. Any wrapping paper will do. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to do very, very light angle cuts, not big ones. So here is my score mark. I'm basically going to cut across just like that. And I'll do the same thing here. I'm not doing a deep angle because when I wrap over, I want to make sure that everything is nice and closed. So I am just cutting out like that. We'll do the same thing here. So no deep angle cutting. And so now we have this. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up all of my tape from both pieces. And so then we're going to take this piece and just fold it over just like that. And we'll do the same thing here. We're going to fold it over. Then we'll bring in our glue and we're going to take our whitest piece and we're just going to add some glue to the areas not covered by tape. And now we can take this and just wrap it around. And this is just a great way to get a nice continuous look on your project. So I am just going to smooth that out. Now we'll take this piece. We're going to take our glue and I am going to place my glue all over this piece. And we'll do the same thing. We're just going to fold it over and do a wrap. And because we're using the same paper front and inside, once I get this smoothed down, you don't even notice. And I'm going to bring in my big old spatula and just get my spine nice and defined. And then I'll stand it up and I'm just going to use my spatula to just sort of crease it and square that off. Now I'm going to bring in my nice little notepad and I am just going to make this a one and done, guys. I'm going to take my glue, place some glue at the top, at the bottom, and in the middle. Now I'll put it down just like that. And then I'll lift that top. We'll make sure that glue is stuck. And we have a sweet little flip top skinny made from scrap chipboard. And so now I'm just going to bring in a sweet little sticker that says today is the best day ever. We're going to place that right there. And now we have a beautiful, beautiful little flip top skinny made from scrap chipboard. And if you wanted to, you could add more here. You could put a little pocket up there. I am just leaving mine simple and plain, but this is functional. It's useful. So we have made our flip top skinny, Now we're going to bring in that 4 by 6 inch piece. I have removed the tape, and we're going to place that down, and I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to give myself a wide border here. And the reason why I'm not doing a wide border here is because I don't want to use up any more of my paper. So I will make sure that my fold over pieces are definitely wide enough to cover this board. So all I'm going to do is just fold over, and we'll do that same miter. And as you guys can see, I have that writing there. Not really worried about that. So once we have our wraparound done, we're going to do the same gentle miter that we did before. So we're not mitering a lot. We are just angling very lightly beneath the line. So I'll do that here. And then I will do a very light angle there. Do it there. And then a very, very light angle there. So now I can lift up my tape. We're going to take this piece, fold it over, take this piece, fold it over, and then I'll take some glue, and I'm just going to add some glue to the portion of this piece that will not hit the tape. Now I can take it. We're going to wrap it around, and you can see that it is covering those words. So now I'll take this piece and do the same thing. So I am just going to add some glue here. Put some glue right there just to make sure everything stays nice and stuck. I'll take this piece and fold it over. I'm going to use a piece of my paper towel, and see how having those words on there didn't interfere with this at all. So I'm going to flip it over, get that nice and stuck. So then, guys, I have these little bull nose clips, just minis, and I am going to put one right here and just turn that into a simple little clipboard. And I'll clip that sweet little message that says, "Let the fun begin." And now we have made scrap project number 2. And so the final thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a very simple sticky notepad holder. And I have a piece of chipboard that measures 3.5 by 3.5. I have tape on the back. I am going to place this down using that same process that I used before, because we want to do a wraparound. And then I am just going to stand this up, and we'll do all 4 sides just like we did before. And then I'm simply going to trim away at an angle, a very slight angle, just like you saw me do on the other 2 projects. And this is just an easy peasy way to create a little sweet little desk set. So now I'll lift my tape. We're going to take our pieces and fold them over, just like that. And now I'll take my glue, and I am going to place glue all over this piece. And we'll fold it. And then we'll do the same thing here. Place your glue. And then fold it over. So now that we have this little 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece, I want to use this just to create a little platform so that I can raise that just a little bit. So we're going to take that, And it's just scrap. And all we're doing is taking our scrap and making sure that it's not going to hang over at the bottom. And if it does hang over, I am just going to snip away some of that. So now that we have our piece like this, I'm just going to fold it and get those two stuck. And now that I have them folded, I am going to trim away the part of the scrap that hangs over. And so now I have this little double layer of chipboard that I am going to be putting on the bottom. But before I do, I am going to place it on some of my scrap paper, place it down right there. And then I'm just going to snip out around it a little because we don't need all of that. And so now I'll just do a regular miter because this is going to be on the bottom and you'll never see it. So I'll take my glue, bring those little points over like that. And then I'll take this piece and we're going to do a wrap. Like that. And so now I'll just use my spatula, get everything nice and smooth, take my glue, place some glue on that, and then I can just take this piece, place it down on the bottom, just like that, and we have our little raised platform. So I thought I had some pink or yellow sticky notepads. I don't, so we're going to go with this very loud green. And this is a one and done for me, so I am just going to place some glue on the back. We'll get it stuck. And even though I did it as a one and done, if you want to replace it, all you need to do is when you use the last sheet, just place the new pad down on top of the piece that is glued down. And now guys, you're able to see that we have another sweet little set that we made using scrap chipboard. So if you have a bunch of scrap chipboard, pull it out and start turning it into something instead of letting it grow and grow and grow in bins like I have been doing. I am going to start pulling those out and using them in my crafting. So you can see just how simple it was to make this sticky notepad holder, mini clipboard, and this sweet skinny flip top notepad. So stinking cute. I am going to bring that first set back in that I made so that y'all can see all of this gorgeous goodness that started with these scraps. We all have them. So let's put them to good use. So I hope that you have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.